So what changed these last two games? I sketched this out in a solid 6 minutes. The biggest thing to me is Wiggins. Wiggins in the last two games, 17 and 16 in game 4. And then in game 5, 26 and 13. He was the best player on the floor. He looked like the guy I thought Jaylen Brown was going to be coming into the playoffs. So just quickly, that was not a variable we were kind of expecting, right?
Although he's had a good year. I mean, it's not surprising when he makes a shot. It is surprising when he gets 29 rebounds in consecutive games. That's a little puzzling.
And was super confident. Like today, he was 0 for 6 from 3, but he was 12 for 23 from the game. So he was 12 for 17 on twos and was going to the basket with impunity to the point that I was jealous because, our guys, when they were going to the basket, they're either getting stripped, they're throwing up the backboard. And it's just like, isn't that supposed to look like what Wiggins is doing?
Yeah,
right?
Like you kind of hit the corner of the glass and it goes in. That's what a layup looks like, right?
All right. So Wiggins, one difference. Second difference, the Boston bench. Game 4, 5 for 16 shooting. Game 5, 1 for 8. The three guys. Your guy Pritchard came in. You can say he's like a son to you. You've actually said the words, if you could take me when I was age 17 and turn me into an NBA player, I would have been Pritchard. Comes in, misses 2 threes, confident threes, and after he missed the second one, deer in the headlights, and they take him out within 5 minutes.
His 5 minutes was obviously personally devastating for me because I do regard him as the son I never had. First of all, you miss his first touch, he runs out of bounds. He catches an inbounds pass in the corner.
I forgot.
He's standing out of bounds. That's his first touch, and then I believe he misses 3 threes before he mercifully gets sent to the bench. So that was as bad a 5 minutes as you can play. And then, that the Derek White confident 3-point shooter that reared his head momentarily in this series was so exciting. And then we did not see him when we needed him on those 2 threes when the tide was turning.
Yeah, we'll recap when everything turned, but you made the key point. He had 2 open threes. He was 0 for 4 in this game. You go back to game 7, Milwaukee, the role guys are the guys that win ugly games like this. And the role guys for the Celtics, I don't know what happened to Grant Williams from this impact guy in the Bucks series that it actually seemed like he was like the 6th starter in a lot of ways, but he went sideways. So the bench, that was big. Third thing, turnovers. Game 4, 15 for Boston. Game 5, 18. Now, if you just told me before the game, the Celtics are going to have 18 turnovers, and there's going to be 2 different moments when Marcus Smart and Ime Udoka get technicals from yelling at Mark Davis and Tony Brothers, what do you think the result of the game would be? What would you have said?
Double-digit loss.
Okay, so we have that. They get a miracle Curry. He's 7 for 22. He misses every 3. Now they're throwing double team. They're doing stuff at him. But, I went to the game. I was there. I thought Curry definitely did not seem 100%. I don't know what it looked like on TV to you.
I mean, the crazy thing in terms of whether he's playing hurt or not, still finishes around the rim. If Jason Tatum could finish around the rim like the smallest guy on the court, the Celtics would be in much better shape. But as I texted you, Jason Tatum is shooting 30.6% from 2-point land in this series.
Yeah.
He's 19 for 62 from 2-point land. In today's NBA, 2-point land is layups and foul line jumpers. There really are other 2-point shots, and he cannot finish around the rim, and it is maddening. But Steph finished around the rim in traffic. He just was 0 for 9 from behind the arc. So this was the one, obviously, you had to steal. The one bad game Steph's going to have. And we just played like dog shit. And Jaylen Brown certainly had his worst game of the season, but it's up there for his career. 5 for 18 with 5 turnovers.
Yeah, and it felt worse. It felt like he had 10 turnovers. The Celtics scored 39 in the first half. Come out in the third quarter. They scored 31 over the next 10 minutes. They're up 70-67 with 2 minutes left. And then over the next 10 minutes and 30 seconds, they scored 9 points total. And it goes from 70 to 67 to 79 to 93.
Well, the Warriors were a little on the ropes, and then Clay hits 2 threes, and then Poole hits a 3. And then, we talk about it all the time. These Celtic possessions at the end of quarters, obviously we've never executed a 2-for-1 ever. This goes back to Bill Sharman and Bob Cousy.
It's like a minus 2-for-1.
It's never happened. But so we come down, there's like 27 seconds left when we get the ball. So we're going to use the entire shot clock and get a terrible shot. That's a given, but there'll be just enough time left for somebody to throw a heave for the Warriors. And sure enough, it works out exactly right. Jalen takes a terrible contested desperation shot at the shot clock buzzer, long rebound, kick out to Jordan Poole, and he banks it in. And you just felt it at that moment. Sort of like when Marcus banked in the shot in game 3, you're like, oh, I think we're going to win this game. And when Jordan Poole banked in the buzzer beater, I was like, oh, we're going to lose.
It did something worse than that. It got the crowd back into it because they kind of haymakered the crowd in the first 10 minutes of the third quarter. The combo of the shot, all of a sudden the Celtics are playing with pace. Tatum hit some dagger threes and really started to look like he had a 40-point game in him. And then Curry couldn't make anything. And it was interesting because I've been there, obviously, when Curry gets hot, and there's no connection in the NBA and probably in sports like the connection with Curry and that crowd. When he's feeling it, it's like it's a snowball downhill, and you're just going to get caught. It's an avalanche. When he's not feeling it, which was the experience tonight, the crowd was it was kind of like disbelief. It wasn't like awkward silence. Nobody was mad. It was just like, wait, what's going on here? Are we in bizarre world? So it did feel like it was there for the taking, and they lost the momentum. But the problem, Ime knew he wasn't getting anything from his bench, so he just kind of had to keep Tatum and Brown out there. I don't think they came out in the second half, did they?
I don't think so. It's weird because Tatum's line is deceptive because he's 10 for 20. Now he does, to your point about fatigue, he does shoot 4 air balls in the second half, 4 shots that hit the floor before they hit anything else. And he did, I believe, with his 4 turnovers tonight, I believe he broke LeBron's season playoff record for turnovers. And so, you and I for years have been wanting him to drive the ball. Obviously, we remember when he announced himself with the dunk on LeBron. He never dunks on anybody anymore. Like if somebody told me he can't dunk anymore, I'd go, oh gosh, that explains it. Like he never finishes with strength, and he never makes the ref. I know he complains on every missed layup, but he never wants contact. Like he contorts himself with these circus shots around the basket that avoid contact and make it a difficult shot. And then he slaps the pad on the stanchion while Wiggins is making the layup at the other end. And it's maddening. So you have a guy who set the single season playoff record for turnovers, who's shooting under 31% from 2 in the playoffs. And I still feel like I want him to drive. And I'm like, why do I want him to drive? There are 2 things that are going to happen if he drives. He's probably going to turn the ball over, or there's a 69% chance he's going to miss whatever shot he gets. Clearly, the best option for Tatum is the step back 3-pointer, which he's quite adroit at.